Okay, now, if you have a very healthy Chevy Caprice, you probably do not have any rust back here at all. Solid, the way it's meant to be. Back to the trunk, back to the taillight removal here. You got these guys here, which seem to be very tight. You might need a pair of pliers, and you might not. I got this guy here. I might need one for the other one there, but very straightforward. Okay, just twist them off. I'm sure many Chevy enthusiasts out there know about this. Okay, once you get this guy off here, now what you could do is once you remove your assembly here, just screw these back in, or you can put them in our nifty filing case here so we don't lose them. Okay, and get yourself a piece of masking tape and just label them. Okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, don't go tearing stuff apart. Okay, whatever you do, just take your time with this and make sure you have everything organized, because this assembly normally takes a day to remove the headlights, taillights. Vinyl roof is going to be, I don't know, a couple hours, and a couple beers, and then when you're ready to put everything back together, everything is there. Okay, you're not running around looking for mismatched parts and bolts that are missing, and you're not running to Canadian Tire or AutoZone or Napa or Valley or any of that crap looking for parts. Okay, we're looking for fasteners, so this is the best way to do it. Okay, I had to remove a few fasteners here along the top of the trim for our taillight assembly. These two don't have to be removed, because what is holding this is those two fasteners are holding in the lamp for our license plate light, which burnt out circa 2010. I've never replaced it. I don't have plans on doing it either. Anyway, these fasteners, I took them out. You can later on put them back in if you so desire. If you plan on painting your trim here, maybe it's all busted or whatever, you might not want to leave your screws in there. You might want to just throw them in your case and label them. We'll have that case filled before you know it. So now you're going to need, just to pull this unit out. This is actually completely different from what the 85 is. The 85 actually comes out as an entire assembly. The whole panel actually slides right out. For whatever reason, this one is set up differently. I really didn't know that because I never changed the headlights in this type of setup, or the taillight bulbs in this type of setup before. This is actually the first time I've ever removed this out of here. Never had to before. I burnt out a bulb in the 85 a couple of years ago, so I knew what I was expecting there. But the difference, like you can tell with the 85, it's got the old style square tail lights. Okay, 6 squares total. Well, this one here has got a flat panel straight across, kind of like what the Buick has. But anyway, so the same thing, general idea applies. When you're trying to remove your bulb, there's a tab here. Most of you Chevy enthusiasts know about this, but maybe you guys, younger fellows out there, have maybe your granddad gave you his old truck or something, and you know, maybe it's all beat up and you want to paint it or whatever, and you're trying to get started. Well, this is kind of generally the same idea. Okay, so just like that, oops, got our backup bulb here too yet. Okay, and don't worry about mixing them up. You can't possibly mix them up. See, this is totally different from what the 85 is. But anyway, so yeah, this is completely different actually. So I still want the bumper filler out of here. So we got fasteners along the bottom here. Actually, we got 1, 2, 3 Phillips screws along the bottom, and I want this whole assembly out of here because our bumper filler is attached here. Now, I wanted to briefly discuss something over here very quickly. Notice here we have rust right here. Okay. Now that's plastic. But notice here, like, we can't physically just sand this and just paint it, because what will happen is our rust is going to come back again. We have to remove this. Okay. The way you do it, those 2 fasteners right there. ahead and remove the fasteners for the bottom part of our taillight assembly. We'll need a large Phillips screwdriver for this. We are dealing with very large fasteners here. This will remove our bumper filler. Okay, so a lot has changed since 1985 to 1987. I believe 1986 was last year for the square style taillights and the 4-system headlamps. When they went to the Euro style headlamp system, and things also changed with the back end of the car as well if you're dealing with a Chevy Caprice, is that they also went to this style of taillight. Well, they also changed many other things along the way. These filler parts here, on the 85 they were actually just their own separate unit that bolted to the quarter panel in behind the trunk here. Well, now they've changed that. It is now incorporated with the taillight assembly itself. It is actually molded in here. So this, in order to remove our whole assembly piece here, so we can see everything else behind the car, we have to remove the two fasteners from the back in order to get this out, because this is a part of the assembly now. They really changed the design of them. I didn't notice that until now. But we'll go ahead and remove this. Okay, removing your last bolt here. 11mm socket or wrench required for this. Don't forget the little hidden bolt just above the trunk. It's in a hidden spot, so you'll have to duck your head in underneath, pull him out. He's in a real tricky spot there. Okay, what a difference between the two vehicles here. When I tore out the taillight assembly on the 85, completely different story. Completely different clips here holding the wire harness in here. You're going to want to remove your wire harness. Now, these have different style clips on them. So what you're going to want to do is depress these two clips just like that with your pair of pliers. And you're going to take a flathead screwdriver and pull on the bottom side. You might get lucky if you can push. And this will release the wire harness assembly. And you'll be able to remove your harness completely from the vehicle. Okay. Do that all the way along until your whole assembly is freed up. Okay, when you're dealing behind the license plate, you're going to have a clamp here as well. You're going to want to take your pliers, your needle nose pliers, and squeeze and push. Or use your flathead screwdriver on the back, whichever makes it easier on yourself, and remove the wire harness from there. There's also one there. Okay, so with that being done, finally, it took long enough too. You don't want to leave this like this because the vehicle will be moving from location to location in the yard while it's getting painted. It'll be starting off in the garage and, you know, up the road to a buddy's place and so forth. It'll be moving. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up the wire harness like so. I'm going to put some electrical tape on here just to keep the bulbs from busting. You don't have to take the bulbs out either, you know, just keep them as is and just tuck them to the side. Just leave them over top of the frame rail, tucked in like so and out of the way, just so they don't bust. You could take the bulbs out if you really wanted to, but like I say, like, you don't really have to.